everybody. Welcome. I'd like to welcome you and introduce our star today, Laura Krieger.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. For those of you who didn't see Laura's last class, I'd like to let you know you're in for a treat. For those of you who already did, you know you are. Mm-hmm. And the benefit of coming here live and in person is that you get to taste some of these wonderful things when we're done. So I'm hoping that after today, if you're all very good, Laura will come back and we'll do another class with an even bigger studio audience. So thank you all for coming.
The dog is listening to you.
That's good. Yes, we have our furry guests too, outside the kitchen. My name is Alexandra Turner, and I serve here as the Council on Aging Director. So I just wanted to take 2 minutes, both to thank Laura and to thank you for coming, and also to let you know of a couple of upcoming events. Oftentimes they're listed on cable, so watch your updates on Sterling-Lancaster cable. Thank you for filming that. Every Tuesday morning, you can come down here for a pancake breakfast. Right now, it's all you can eat for $1. Rumor has it we might be going to $2, and it's my favorite time. It's apple cinnamon pancake time and pumpkin pancake time. Sausages, juice, coffee, all you can eat. So it's a lot of fun. You see a lot of people from town and from neighboring towns. We don't card, all ages, come on down. And after Laura's class today, you're going to want to try some exercise classes. So we have Mondays, we have Tai Chi and yoga, and Wednesdays we have Zumba. So that's a lot of fun. And we have a lot of things coming up. We just came back from a great trip to Portland. We're going to Freeport coming up. I won't bore you with all the ins and outs, but for those of you who enjoy cooking, October 25th, I believe, it's the last Friday, we are having a potluck. We encourage you to wear something zany for Halloween and to bring your best recipes out and come down and sit and just enjoy trading recipes and having a fun potluck with friends. So look to the cable television or our website or call the office. And I hope you join you for the potluck. It's free and it's fun. So thank you, Laura. I look forward to desserts, my favorite portion of any meal.
Me too. Okay, thank you very much, and I'm glad everybody came. Today, I want to tell you that I know we have a nurse here, and we have probably maybe somebody who has much more knowledge than I do about nutrition and so on. But so I'm not a nurse and I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just somebody that likes to cook and somebody that has been thinking a lot about not adding a lot of extra calories and fat and sugar to my diet. So today I have 3 selections that, possibly 4, I'm not sure, but the 3 selections that I have is a noodle pudding, and it's made with apples and a lot of good things in there. And I remember as a little girl, my aunt made this noodle pudding, and for the life of me I can never kind of duplicate it, but I keep experimenting with it, and it seems like I'm coming pretty close to it. So I hope you enjoy this. It's funny how things you remember from your past, you don't let them go and you try to, maybe recipes you try to duplicate. Well, that's what I've done here today, and I call it my own recipe because I didn't look on the internet to see what they have out there. And then another one is a favorite one of mine that I've had for years. It's a yogurt recipe. And I know that Alex said that we'll have to do some exercise or something after. And as much as I love exercise, these 3 things that I'm going to show you are not very fattening. So that's good. So I hope they taste good to you. This one I said is a yogurt one, and I'll tell you as I go on what the ingredients are for that. This next one over here, the last one that I'll probably do, is a bread type of recipe. And you know how when you look in your refrigerator, you say, oh, I have so much bread. It's just piling up. It gets so high. Sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes I even have to throw out bread, and that's a bad thing to do. But today I'm going to talk about some easy kind of thing that you can make if, let's say, somebody calls you up the last minute and you say, oh, you know what? My funds are a little short, and I don't want to go to the store and buy a whole bunch of cakes and things like that. This is something that you can make. Or very often we have friends who are diabetic, and you say, what am I going to make for this person that isn't sugary, right? So these things I think are very low in sugar. And I'll talk about what we do with the leftover bread too. Now, I have been doing a lot of thinking, and I like sweets myself, but I have come to the realization that, you know what, we can't consume as much sugar as we have been. And so I'm trying very hard to cut down. So I'm probably like everybody else. I'm not a person that's like this and, you know, watching every grain of everything that I eat. But I am concerned about sugar. And I would like to ask you some questions. And so I'm going to see, and I have some prizes to give away and see, if you can guess the amount of teaspoons of sugar are in certain items. Now, let me just give you an example. Like a 3-inch square diameter of a brownie, how many teaspoons of sugar would you think is in there? Anybody can answer.
4.
4? Okay. Who said 3? You are right. Okay. You're very good. Good guesser. Okay. So let's see if we can, you know, sometimes we say, oh, we're hungry, let's go get a candy bar at the store. And so we really psych ourselves out because we say, oh, it has nuts in it. And it's got to be healthy for you. And I need the instant energy. But that's not a very good thing because once our blood sugar goes up, it also goes down. And that gives you an effect. So a plain chocolate candy bar, a one small one, how many teaspoons of sugar do you think are in there?
6.
Who said 6? You are right. And you are going to get this nice little Dakin Farm maple syrup. Just right for pancakes on Tuesday. Okay, so number 2. Who can tell me how many teaspoons of sugar are in one little tiny lifesaver? You know, you have them in your purse, maybe, and you take them out and you pop them in your mouth, and you pop another one, and another one, another one.
Yeah.
I know, I used to do that.
Probably 1.
Say
One
One?
lifesaver?
One lifesaver.
2,
How many?
2, 4.
Okay, Monique, you are correct. It's not a half, but it's a third. But it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you have a third, and a third, and a third, and a third, okay, this is for you. Can you pass that to her, please? Okay. Oh, she's going to get it. That's okay. Thank you. Nice. And all these little prizes that I have today are kind of seasonal, okay? The paper, notes, and so on. It's all for this wonderful season. Okay, I have one more, and I have one more prize. And none of us, probably, I can honestly say I've never had a banana split in my life that I remember. Not a whole banana split. Maybe I've tasted it. So what do you, how many teaspoons of sugar do you think is in a medium/large banana split?
Say 27.
Huh?
40.
40?
27.
30 plus.
No, you are the closest because there are 24. Now in here, think about it. I don't know if you can see this too well. It's kind of light, but there are 6 teaspoons of sugar in here. Can you imagine that? And can you imagine when you go someplace, you know, sometimes you go through the line at Dunkin' Donuts or you're in Dunkin' Donuts and you see them preparing coffee for someone? How much sugar? They don't even count. They just dump and dump and dump and dump. That's a lot of sugar. It is not 6 teaspoons full. And this is what they're recommending, only to have extra sugar. Because don't forget, sugar is in everything. And this is like your extra. Can you imagine? And somebody drinks 1 cup of coffee, they probably have a lot of sugar in there. So you can take a look at that. Oh, and this is yours. And maybe Pam can give this to you. It's a corn chowder condensed. So it's nice for the fall season. Okay. All right. So with that, I just want to mention that I have apples here. apples, lots of apples, because this is the season for apples and pumpkins and squash and everything else. So my theme today is kind of like apple-ish. So I'm going to start off with this, the noodle dish, because it's going to take a little time to heat it up and get it, so hopefully it'll be done soon. So I'm going to start with, I had to write all my ingredients down. I started with, this is just a half a pound, 6 ounces. 6 ounces of, not a half a pound, it's not quite, it's a little less than a half a pound, but this is enough for just serving maybe 4 or 5 people, okay? So I will put that later in here, but I have to beat 2 eggs. And, oops, wow, squirted right out.
Came up.
Yep, it did. And do you ever notice when you're hitting 2 eggs together, only one cracks, hopefully? Okay, so I'm just gonna, and these eggs, I think I told you last time in my cooking segment that I use cage-free eggs. I don't like the thought of the chickens being in all these little cages. And I called up the company and they told me how they let them range free. So that's my stance on that. But okay, so I have, I'm putting the eggs in. And then I am going to put a half a cup of cinnamon applesauce, or I have fresh apples here. So, but because I'm going to just use this today, and what did I say? 1/2 cup. This is a 1/4 cup. So how many? 2. Very good. Good mathematicians. Okay, I'll put that right in there. And you know what? I think I told you last time, I hardly measure anything. I kind of know when to stop with my ingredients, but I'm just going to throw a couple of extra apples in here. And I washed my hands before, so everything is good. And I did put some lemon juice in here when I diced my apples this morning, because it helps to retard the apple from turning very brown. Okay, now let's see. Now my next ingredient is 1/4 cup of regatta cheese. I love regatta cheese. And I'm just putting it in like that. And you know, you can, if you like it, you can put in more. It's okay. Do whatever you feel is right for you. Okay, I'm mixing that all around nicely, see? And it's becoming very soupy. And then I'm going to put 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Okay. Now I was looking at all the back labels of things, and this doesn't have any sugar in it, because I'm trying to be very careful about sugar. And I noticed, I brought this with me, this container of orange peach mango pure juice blend has 27 grams of sugar in it. And you know what I've managed to do is that if I want a little taste of this, I don't deny myself, but I get a big glass of water and I put a little bit of juice in it, and that is very satisfactory for me. And it's a good way to cut down on all the sugar. Okay, so now I'm going to take a handful of raisins. And you can put more in. I'll just put these in. And I also have these yellow raisins, golden raisins. So you put in whatever you want. And if you want to put nuts in it, you can put nuts in it. I didn't choose to put nuts in it today. And I might just sprinkle just a little bit more, even though the applesauce is already has cinnamon in it. And I put this in a lot of things. Cinnamon is very healthy for you. Okay, so now I have everything. I have, the only thing is missing right now is my noodles. Okay, and I hope they're not too hard, because I made them earlier. You know how pasta sometimes gets hard. But I put it right away in the container, so I hope that the moisture just stayed in there. And I rinsed it off, and now I'm mixing it all up together. Press it down a little bit so it doesn't look too wild. Okay, and now I'm ready. I'll check once again to make sure that I have everything in. I put nuts optional, which I didn't have, and that's going to be it. So we're going to put it in our oven, which has already been preheated to 350. Okay, and I'll put this over here. I like to get a lot of the ingredients out of the way so that I have room. And I also like to, my mother taught me, always make sure you clean up everything and get it out of the way. It makes it so much better. Okay, now I am going to do,
Laura,
yes.
how long do you keep this in the oven?
You know what? I think probably about 30 minutes or so. Check it. You should check it to see. I should have mentioned that. When it starts getting brown on the top, don't forget the eggs have to be well cooked, then you know it's okay. And you can, I really wanted to put it in a square container, but I use a lot of round things too. And you can just cut it, and it's almost like a noodle-ish kind of cake type of thing. Okay, so good question, Monique. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to make this. This is something you can make in what the expression is, lickety-split. You know, if somebody comes and you say, oh, what am I going to do? So I have lemon yogurt. I have raspberry non-fat yogurt. It's the Chobani Greek. Now, usually I don't use the Greek yogurt. So it's going to be kind of a little experiment today to see if it works. But these two yogurts, so if you didn't want to try it with that, you could use the regular yogurt. And crushed pineapples. Now when you're using this, making this recipe, and I'm sorry I didn't have a glass bowl so you could see better, we're going to drain off all of the juice, okay? Now, you don't have to drain it off. If you like to have pineapple juice, by all means, take a little cup and keep it. But I usually drain it off and throw it out. Hate to say that. And the reason is, after it settles, then it becomes a little watery. Okay, so put that in there. Let's see. It has no sugar added. I'm looking for the sugar here. And let's see where they listed here. I don't see anything here. Okay. That doesn't mean we're okay. All right, sugars. 16 grams of sugar. Still has sugar. Okay. So we're going to then take the lemon. Doesn't matter which one you take first. Open it up. And empty it all out. I like to make sure I empty everything out. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Johnny Appleseed. You know, I think people in New England, and especially in this area, are very proud to be in the same community with Johnny Appleseed, and we should be proud. You know why? Because I was reading something about Johnny Appleseed, and he was a true humanitarian. First of all, he loved animals so much that he became a vegetarian. Can you imagine, in the 1700s? He became a vegetarian. And he also had a great compassion for people who were hungry. And so he We often think of Johnny Appleseed with the pot on top of his head, and he's going and planting trees and all that. But there was more to Johnny Appleseed than some of us really know. At least it happened to me. I didn't know that much about him. So he went all over the country, and he planted trees. He planted trees for the purpose of giving people food. And he knew that people out in the country might not have food in the wintertime, and probably people could keep apples in the cold and so on. And so that was his purpose for going around the country. So he was very compassionate towards humans and towards animals. And he, as I told you, he became a vegetarian very early. He couldn't stand the thought of an animal being hurt. And as he went out, he built fences around some of the trees so that they would last and people could have them. And that's why we have so many apple orchards around here. And I like to think it's because he planted them here and people cultivated it in this area and kept it going. Okay, so now getting back to our recipe, I have the pineapple, I have the 2 yogurts, and now here is the final touch. And that will be, if I can open the container, yeah, I did it, the Cool Whip. There is there's 1 gram of sugar in here. So I'm not going to use the whole thing, but maybe I'll use 3/4 of it, and I'll just put in the Cool Whip. Actually, it's not named Cool Whip, but it's like Cool Whip. You can buy it in the grocery store, probably a little cheaper than Cool Whip. So.
Laura, do you get the regular or?
This?
Yeah.
You can get this is the regular kind, but you can get the low fat if you want. Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I'll put the cover on that so we keep it nice. And then you just mix it around. Mix it around. You can put it in the refrigerator. Now, originally, this was like a pie filling, but I use it as a little dessert. Can you see it all? And what I'm going to do is, if we can get Pam maybe to give, we can pass this around. You can try it right now. There's some plates. And I don't know if you have some spoons. And just sample it yourself, see if you like it. If you don't like it, it's okay too. But I think you will like this. Here's your plates right here. Okay. Yeah, right there. You just need spoons. Okay, now, what do we do with the bread that's left over? That's a question. Do we throw it out? We shouldn't. If it's moldy, throw it out. But if it's still good, but it's been around a little bit, there's several things you can do with it. You can, maybe next class what we can do is we can talk about a bread pudding. So I saved these to show you. A friend of mine makes croutons out of these. She makes croutons out of these. And she cuts them up, and she puts a little olive oil on them, and she puts some garlic in it. Would be nice, put fresh garlic, and you could put pepper or whatever you wanted on it. Put it in the oven, and there you go. You have some nice croutons, okay? So today, what I'm going to do is I want to show you how here's my pan. Yeah, you get a cupcake tin. You take your leftover bread. And with, excuse me, I want to mention, with that recipe with the yogurt, if you want to make a pie out of it, you could take graham crackers, crush them up, put a little something to moisten them up like margarine, and you could then use that. Yes, yes. Yeah, you could use that as your pie crust. Okay, so what I've done here, since I'm talking so much, I cut off the crusts of the bread, okay? I have a couple of slices here, and I cut them off, and now I'm going to shape them into my pan. And this is really kind of a fresh bread, but you might have bread that's a little older, but it doesn't matter. I've done it with the older bread too. Just kind of form it in there a little bit. Form it in there like that. And the edges will stick out, but who cares? Who cares? It's okay. You know, if you see people on television, real professionals, not like me, but they're very casual about things, and they don't worry about, you know, little things. They don't even worry about mistakes. It's okay. Okay, see? Now I have them all like that. Now I'm going to take my apples, and I'll put a hefty tablespoon, okay, in there. I'll put it in all 12 there. Have we more than 12 people here? Yes, I guess so. Well, we can make 2 more. We can make more. And I'll just fill that in. You know, it's a great idea, especially now, this time of the year. You know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's true, because apples have a lot of good nutritional components to it. Fiber is one of them, and it's very important that we have enough fiber. And for those people who are taking medications, I think fiber is very important for you to have, because some of these medications can bind you up. So I'm going to take my raisins again, and I'm going to throw a couple of raisins on here. And then later, I'm going to tell you what I brought with me. I brought with me some low-fat ice cream, and I think it'll make a nice little topping to this. Or you could use the Cool Whip if you want it on it. Okay. I think it looks pretty. Pretty. I think it looks very, very appealing looking. You put nuts in it. Excuse me.
Make you cough.
Huh? You want to stop it? No. Yes. All right. Okay, so I have that all done. Oh, I think I forgot one. And I'm going to put some golden raisins on it. And I'm going to pop this in the oven.
Now, how long would that one be?
This one is about 15 minutes.
15?
Thank you. 15 minutes, and then that should be done. You know, you want to make sure the fruit is well cooked. Okay, now another thing I can show you. I didn't take care of myself last week. And I ended up doing too much, and then I ended up getting a cold. And I should have ate more nutritious food and rested more. Rest is very important. Exercise. I have been doing a lot of work at the computer and not exercising enough. So I'm going to slice these apples now, and I want to show you something nice about the apples. Huh? I'm slicing them thin. Isn't that pretty? Stars. Very pretty stars. And I made these at home. I'm going to show them to you in a few minutes. But I'm going to take this buttered flavored cooking spray, and I'm really going to saturate the cooking tray. And then I'm going to put them on. You know, there's a product that is on the market by Seneca, and they make these chips, apple chips, and they're good. They're very good. Yeah, they're a little soft. I haven't been able to get them very crispy, but I don't want to saturate them in oil either. Now, when you get towards the end of something like a onion or something, and you're cutting it, you have to make sure you can. If you put your hands like this, your fingers like this, you'll probably avoid cutting your fingers. And then I just take it like this and just cut it like that. So some of the pieces are going to be thick, and some will be thin. Okay. I put it on like this, I don't care. I want to tell you that Mrs. Stiver in the orchards up on George Hill, she mentioned to the children who come there and they see a little show and they learn about apples, that we should never, never pull the apple off the tree, that we should twist it, twist it, twist it. That's the proper way to get the apple off the tree. Because when you get those buds, you know, sometimes the buds, you pull it and you get those buds, and then it affects the next year's budding of the apples, and I think it skips a year or two. So I always remember to tell young people too. I took my 2-year-old granddaughters there. I said, twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it, and they were twisting it. I said, that's good. And they were picking up off the ground too. All right, so now I'll put a little bit of cinnamon on it. Oops. And we'll see what happens with it. Now this, I would, not more than 10 minutes, I think, for these. Let's see if we have room here. I think we do. I think we can move something over. I just tested the apples in the bread. It's not ready yet. And the noodle pudding is looking good. All right, here are the apples that I made at home. Now, these are the ones that I made in the oven. I think I prefer the ones that I make in the oven over the ones that I fried, because they're a little bit, you don't want to have too much grease. And that's just Pam, like a Pam thing that I put on the pan now. So these are the ones, and you can feel free to just try them out if you want. They can get a little dark, so you have to watch. But it's a nice change, I think, from something very sweet, like candy or a cookie. When you want to go get a cookie, then just get a piece of apple. And you know, it takes time, but it can be very satisfying if you kind of break that habit of thinking about sugar. So I hope you enjoyed seeing me prepare these desserts here, and I hope you will stick by so I can share the results of the work. Thank you very much.